When it comes to government facilities tied to UFOs and aliens, many immediately think of the infamous Area 51.
He saw a flying disc land outside the boundaries of Area 51.
Area 51, that mysterious corner of the Nevada test site.
Area 51 is the top secret Air Force base long associated in the public mind with extraterrestrials and UFOs.
But what if I told you there's a government facility that has an even deeper connection to the unknown, the origins of which predate Area 51 by over 30 years? A facility responsible for storing not only debris recovered from the most recognized UFO crash in history, but also non-human biologics. A facility that from 1947 to 1969 was home to the U.S. military's first ever official UFO investigative projects and all their accompanying secrets. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the captivating history and enduring mysteries surrounding this facility, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the original Area 51. Dayton, Ohio's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base began as a military aviation facility during World War I. However, during World War II, Wright Field, as it was called back then, expanded rapidly with the construction of 300 new buildings and the hiring of tens of thousands of new employees across a diverse range of disciplines. This expansion saw Wright Field go from a military aviation base to the most sophisticated military complex in the world, home to the country's brightest minds who were on the cutting edge of science and technology. Among those bright minds was the T-2 Intelligence Agency, the group responsible for capturing and reverse engineering foreign technology. In other words, Wright Field was the only appropriate location to bring material from an ordinary weather balloon that crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Joking aside, we will be covering not only Roswell's connection to Wright-Patterson, but also important evidence and suspicious activity that all but proves it was no balloon that crashed that fateful day. With all of the brilliant minds working out of Wright Field in 1947, it was the logical choice for the first official military investigation into UFOs, Project Sign. Project Sign was responsible for the originally classified memo entitled Estimate of the Situation, which confirmed UFO sightings are real and may involve extraterrestrial spacecraft. The memo was a collaborative effort among high-ranking officers, scientists, and aeronautical engineers. Project Sign would become Project Grudge in 1949, the mission of which was to discredit and undermine UFO sightings. In 1952, Project Grudge was replaced by the famous Project Blue Book, which would eventually become a PR operation aimed at debunking and covering up UFO sightings. However, Blue Book's initial leader, Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, was interested in uncovering the truth about the phenomena. In 1956, Ruppelt authored a book titled The Report on Unidentified Flying Objects, in which he conclusively says we have been visited by extraterrestrial intelligence, and we have the evidence. Then, in 1959, a new version of the book was published. Same title, same author, completely different conclusion. In this new version, Ruppelt concludes that he is positive UFOs don't exist. What's even more suspicious is that even though this second book was published in 1959, the publisher put a 1956 date on the book. I wonder why they would do that. With Wright-Patterson being home to the first official UFO investigations, rumors circulated that the base had a much more tangible connection to aliens and UFOs. Amidst the shadowy history of the Roswell incident, an enigmatic blue room nestled within Hangar 18 at Wright-Patterson became the epicenter of whispered speculation. However, further research has shown that what many believe to be Hangar 18 is actually Hangar 23 in the Building 18 complex. During the 1950s, a basement was excavated in Hangar 23, which was rumored to house the top-secret Blue Room where alien artifacts were stored. This basement is connected to a complex network of underground tunnels used for highly classified government projects. One prominent individual who caught wind of these rumors was Senator Barry Goldwater.
I called Curtis LeMay and I said, General, I know we have a room at Wright-Patterson where you put all his secret stuff. Can I go in there? I've never heard him get mad, but he got madder than hell at me.
In addition to Goldwater's famous story, Wright-Patterson shockingly admitted the existence of the Blue Room in response to a 2012 FOIA request. They further state that the Blue Room operations were conducted by the National Airspace Intel Center, NASIC, formerly known as the Foreign Technology Division, the group that has long been rumored to be responsible for analyzing the Roswell wreckage. Unfortunately, like many significant records from that time period, the documents pertaining to the Blue Room have gone missing, adding yet another layer of intrigue to this enigmatic story. While there have been countless witnesses who have made claims related to Wright-Patterson's connection to UFOs and aliens, two of these witnesses stand out. The first is General Arthur Exon, who had been a lieutenant colonel and an administration student at Wright Field at the time of the Roswell incident. General Exon would go on to become the base's commanding officer in the 1960s. Unlike so many others of similar rank, Exon was not afraid to talk on the record about what he knew. Specifically, when discussing Roswell, Exon stated, quote, "Everyone from the White House on down knew that what we had found was not of this world within 24 hours of our finding it." General Exon also believed that non-human bodies from the Roswell crash were indeed brought to Wright Field in 1947. These claims are corroborated by our second star witness, June Crane, a typist with a top-secret security clearance who worked for Wright-Patterson's Foreign Technology Division in the 1940s and 50s. That's right, the same division responsible for operating within the Blue Room. Despite facing threats to keep her secrets, Crane ultimately decided on her deathbed that the value of revealing the truth surpassed the weight of those threats. Not only does Crane discuss 3 different UFO crash retrievals tied to Wright-Patterson, she also discussed personally handling UFO debris. Like so many others who encountered this debris, she recalls an extremely light and bendable memory metal, unlike anything she had seen before. After the Air Force reported the recovery of a flying disc in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, command staff at the Washington branch of the Army Air Force confirmed that the materials recovered were being sent to Wright Field. However, the vast majority of the media focused on only one plane transporting Roswell debris, the plane of Major Jesse Marcel, the military's first responder to the crash site. Marcel's plane was directed by General Roger Ramey to stop in Fort Worth. It was there General Ramey killed the Roswell story 2 days after it began, as he canceled the plane's flight to Wright Field and falsely claimed that the event was nothing more than a crashed weather balloon. Ramey then made Marcel take this now famous photograph with actual weather balloon debris. But just as Ramey killed the story with this photo in 1947, the use of modern technology to enhance this same photo breathed new life to the Roswell investigation in the early 2000s. This photo was expanded and enhanced in a manner that made the note in Ramey's hand legible. The note turns out to be a telegram from General Ramey to the Pentagon Chief of Staff. While still difficult to read, it is clear that it includes the following text: "Victims of the wreck," and "in the disc." While all this was taking place, numerous witnesses have claimed that other flights were flying direct from Roswell to Wright Field with large quantities of debris. No such flight being more important than the flight piloted by Captain Oliver W. "Pappy" Henderson. In the 1980s, Henderson went public with his claims that he captained a flight from Roswell to Wright Field on July 8, 1947. According to Henderson, that flight carried not only debris from the Roswell crash, but also what he described as, quote, "little bodies." In addition to the Ramey telegram and witness statements, a citizen investigator named Anthony Bragalia uncovered perhaps the most compelling evidence that Wright Field was the destination for materials of unknown origin in 1947. Bragalia's investigation focused on a former deceased employee of Battelle Labs named Elroy John Center. Center, a senior research chemist at Battelle for nearly 20 years, had confessed to a family friend in 1960 that he had been tasked with analyzing UFO debris. He described the debris as weightless but indestructible memory metal covered in hieroglyphics. Bragalia interviewed numerous witnesses who only seemed to strengthen Center's claims, leading Bragalia to research memory metal in general. He quickly found articles about nitinol, a shape-recovering alloy made of nickel and titanium developed in the 1960s and used in the aerospace industry. In researching the development of nitinol, certain scientific papers reference 2 progress reports from Battelle Labs. Determined to find out more, Bragalia filed many FOIA requests and was eventually able to uncover these 2 progress reports. These reports made 2 things very clear. Number 1, Battelle was working on something of previously unknown origin after 1947. And number 2, this work would lead to the development of nitinol, the closest material humans have created to memory metal. Sure enough, one of the listed authors on these reports was none other than L. Roy John Center. We have only just begun to scratch the surface when it comes to Wright-Patterson's connection to the unknown. While some believe all exotic alien technology has been moved from Wright-Patterson to Area 51 and other secret government bases, others maintain that some of this technology remains buried deep within Wright-Patterson's complex underground tunnel system. As we edge closer to disclosure, we hope that more answers will eventually be uncovered. If you'd like a refresher on the Roswell event, make sure to check out our video where we provide you with a summary of what you need to know. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.